What's up, guys? Welcome back, White Rabbit. Today, guys, today the topic is giants. By the end of this, it's up to you whether you or not. It's up to you what you think, really. All right, guys, let's dive in and look at some giants. You can see this guy's probably 6 foot. You've got two fellow giants. Another interesting thing that I actually found was that the giants, you get them in all races. It's not just one race. It's like different races: black, white, Asian, whatever. Doesn't matter what race, what ethnicity you were. You can find the giant. So it's interesting. But we have a friendly giant. Again, look at that. That's a full bloody size horse, and that's as you can see, giant man. I also believe that there even existed taller or bigger giants than this giant that you are currently looking at. You can see here you have your soldier, which is an average man size, yeah. Then you've got your giant next to him. And here's another image of a giant. And just keep in mind this pose that he's kind of doing, because most pictures, it's like this is like a thing that giants did back in those days when they took pictures. You can see on this image here, you can see that the giant has been captured. This is just to show you guys that giants, the idea of giants, the proof of giants has always been here. It's right in front of us, and and you can see it for yourself. You can see that these are giants and these are regular sized people. Look at that. She's actually even a giant, for goodness sake, because that's a regular sized man right here. Look how tall these people are. Crazy, guys, crazy. And this looks like this was in Paris. You can tell by the display board here, or the window, whatever that is. And again, we get a lot of these. The way she's dressed reminds me of something like the Tartarians would wear. Very decorative and intricate kind of designs on the clothing, and you can see how big she is in comparison to him. Again, another one. You can see you have Elsa on the left and Hilda on the right. Hilda was 7 foot. Can't see the rest. And Hilda was 8'6", which is absolutely crazy. And like I've said as well, guys, there were bigger giants than them. As it'll get a bit more clear as we go, as we move along. And these were documented, cases. As you can see, Hassan Ali, the Egyptian giant, 29-year-old, and he's 8'2". How crazy is that? They've always been around, but at some point during our history, they were extinct. And even the Bible speaks about giants. I'm not Christian, far from it. But even for those people that are Christians that are finding it hard to believe that giants existed, look at your Bible. It speaks of the giants, the Nephilim. Nephilim were giants, guys. Again, we're looking here at Patrick O'Brien, the Irish giant. You see, they're again all around the world. It seems like a different race of humans. They were giants. You know how it goes. again, just showing you pictures, guys. You guys are gonna see a bunch of giants today. If you never believed in giants, I'm about to show you a whole bunch of giants everywhere. You can see that, guys? Yeah. There's a giant man or a giant woman and a regular sized man next to him. Very well dressed. Shoes fit. Probably made by a giant. The more and more, like for example, looking at the old buildings that we have, if you watch the videos on my channel, then you'd understand when I speak about buildings, I'm talking about the totalitarian buildings, the buildings that were around, during the mud floods and whatnot. I would lean more towards these guys, these giants building such structures and not these small human beings, of today, that they want us to believe built them. This was an entirely different civilization that got erased. Again, you can see them everywhere, They're documented, guys, throughout history. Fully clothed, Look at that. This guy is so huge. Look at that. These elephants look like freaking. They look tiny in comparison to this guy. This guy's huge. And I think that's a person right there, if I'm not mistaken. And just again doing the pose. Okay, arms out. Something that a lot of giants did for some reason. More giants, guys. Regular sized people, giants. You can see that there are a couple. And of course, they would have kids that would also be giants, which means that there is a giant civilized population that made giants, And it just gets me thinking, really, so what, where did we smaller humans come from? It opens your mind up to so many questions, man. It's crazy. I never want you guys to believe like I'm coming across or trying to say like I know everything, because I don't. I'm on this journey. I'm looking for truths. My mind is wandering, and whenever I find something interesting, I like to share it with you guys. Again, this one really interested me because look at this guy. How tall he looks, And then if we now begin to reference these images with the doors, that with the giant doors that we still have available until this day in buildings, it would make sense as to why those doors would be that size for giant individuals to go, coming in and out. Because look, if you look at this door, for a normal human, that's a gigantic door, but to the giant, that's a pretty small door. You still need to kind of crouch down, or due to perspective, could be his height. But the point still remains that that's a really huge person, and who made this and why. Can't really read what it says here. Just interesting picture that I found. Again, Asian. look how small that chair is in comparison to him. Guys, there's so many more. There's so much more. Again, guys, look at that pose. Giants. If you look around you guys, really, these people, they don't look like nice people at all. This was probably the time, around the time that they were going around, capturing or, inviting the giants in, pretending to be nice to them and then, killing them, because that's what the humans do, they destroy, and hide. Proofs of giants so much proof, and I'm showing you these are photographs right here that I'm showing you. Yes, I know they say that they invented the camera in the late 1800s, but if you understand that history is bullshit, then you can also understand how them telling you that that's when cameras were invented or the first photograph was developed. You can also see how that is also bullshit. That's an age that benefits their agenda, hence why they'll tell you that that's when photographs and cameras were available to the people. But I really believe that it happened a lot sooner, and of course, again, cameras and photographs, that's old technology, literally, that's ancient technology that they've slowly given out to us and upgraded our bloody megapixels. But cameras is not a new thing. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new that humanity that's living now is discovering. There's nothing new that humanity is discovering. Everything that we get that we believe is new is just rediscovered. Like Einstein, Nikola Tesla, he didn't discover free energy. He rediscovered it because he already existed before the reset. If you want to know more about the reset, go to the channel, and there's videos on that, man. Get to know what's going on. Okay, look at this guy. That's a double-decker fucking tram or train, whatever it is. But look at the size of this guy. Normal humans, the controllers of this system, of this world, how they are with things that are different. They destroy anything that they don't understand, And then also going back to how it's crazy. The Bible says how God sent a great flood to kill the Nephilim, which were the giants, because it got to a point so bad that they were actually eating humans, and then they start eating themselves, and then God decided to send a great flood. That's what the Bible states. Okay, again, when reading those things, again, it just allows you to form more ideas, because prior to that, it's not like the mainstream tells you that giants is something that is real, that existed with us, that it was part of our history. They don't ever tell you that. So it's interesting, it's interesting to, the Bible mentions, I understand there's truths within every spectrum, really, because the truth is everywhere, and you can only understand as much as you want to be able to receive as much information as possible, so you can then discern facts from fiction, and then you're able to piece things together. The more references one has, the more your mind is able to expand and formulate ideas for yourself, and ideas that help you grow spiritually and consciously as well. Okay, so hence why, in reference to the flood, what got my attention is that the Bible mentions giants, and now here I am looking at giants that lived in our life, not too long ago, guys. This isn't very old, you know what I mean? Like, this is back in the 1800s. Okay, so there you go. Again, I believe that these people, like this giant here, they got invited in, and I'm sure she was never allowed to return wherever she came from, because what happened to all the giants? They didn't just vanish, There's evidence of bones and remains, skeletons of giants. Again, this is a really old image, but just to show that, again, they were still depicting giants, Giants has always been a thing, okay? Like, giants, humans, this world is so, it's so crazy, guys, it's full of just wonders, they need to tell the truth, we don't know what is going on here on Earth because they have fucking lied to us so much and have covered up the tracks. It's crazy. We don't truly know what we are and who we are. We really don't. And it's a shame because the way the system has operated is literally to disconnect humans from Creator, from God information. It had just the system has made humans so 3D, so disconnected from true reality, from true nature, that is so humans are they don't even the program runs so fucking deep. I ain't even got the words for it, but it's crazy. They have taught humans a completely different way of living than what humanity should be, how humanity should be living. Because I believe before it was heaven on earth, heaven on earth in a sense of free energy. There was no such thing as money. All these all these 5D concepts that these people that will tell you, I speak with the Palladians, or this I speak with this consciousness, or whatever. All these people that are giving you 5D information, all that information that they're telling you, what I believe is that it's actually coming from here. Heaven was once earth at one point, but going through history, analyzing history, I'm becoming to understand that it was heaven on earth for a very long period of time, and then something changed when things just went south, when things began to get destroyed. When I see giants throwing Masonic hand gestures, the hidden hand, now knowing all these things, it just makes me wonder, what is really going on here? Do we, are some giants turning against their own kind so that they can wipe them out? They've already joined the Brotherhood. These motherfuckers, none of these motherfuckers look trustworthy. They look like crooks. But again, look at this. We have a queen here, a giant queen, again doing that same pose that that I spoke about earlier. Again, it continues. This is in Russia, but we see them across everywhere, guys, everywhere. But they have been erased, and we can see that the buildings that we have, the castles and all these buildings that that were founded. Just check your history. They're all giant sized. Not built by small people with fucking horses and carts. I believe that these giants, wherever they're coming from, wherever they're from, they had real technology. Wherever they're from, they were from a specific area, or maybe they run this fucking area. I don't know, but they had technologies, and for some reason, something happened, that there was a war. For some reason, and evil was introduced to the world, but before that, humanity was pure in love and abundant and thriving, and then something happened that just changed everything. if you look at the Egyptians, you can see a representation of what, guys? That pose again, the arm out, sticking out, giant, human underneath it. Yeah, you may say he's grabbing their heads together, but to me it looks like he's doing that pose. I don't know what he's holding on to. Maybe he is holding their heads together, but it's still a giant. Point still intact. And another thing as well that I realized, I've noticed, it's huge, that I've noticed, is that, I'm here really to just share information with you guys. I'm not here to try and wake anybody up, because only those people that are ready to wake up will wake up. And those that aren't, that's okay too. You're probably just going to reincarnate back here again. Or I don't know how many cycles we have in this realm, but the point is your journey continues, And another thing, guys, as well, that I want to remind for us, consciousness, souls of that living. Not everybody here has a consciousness or a soul. Some people here are just NPCs. There isn't as many humans here or souls as people think, and I really doubt that there's 8 billion people in the world. There isn't 8 billion souls in the world, because for me, anybody with a soul, any real people, are the people that are trying to wake up, that are trying to expose the system, they're trying to figure out what really happened, that are trying to find themselves, because that's what a consciousness does. Any NPC computer just a soulless vessel that's here to fill voids and be programmed by the system doesn't have no urge for nothing, because they're not programmed to do so. So just keep that in mind, guys. Now it continues, guys. This is the Texas Giants, the Shield Brothers. You see the information here: 7-11, 7-11, 7-10, and 7-8. The German beauty, the most perfect giantess in the world, on earth. The German beauty. You heard it the first time. The most perfect giantess on earth. 7'2". This was also interesting, guys. Just wanted, I find these interesting, images from back in those days, and it's always nice to see, because you can clearly see that we have a giant here, and that's an average sized man, but yeah, it's a pretty big dude, Again, more visual references that there were giants involved, Smoke bar. I just found this picture, and I haven't actually analyzed it much, so I'm not speaking on it, but it looked interesting, guys. It looks like a skull, but I don't want to say it, okay? And then, I also found this image, which was very interesting, again, depicting giants, a normal sized human in comparison to a giraffe. You can see the height difference, but then you see these guys here walking with a giraffe like it's a bloody pet. Some people may say that's a baby giraffe, but I doubt that. I believe that these guys are giants. Those giant guns that you see seem to be holding them right now. big bone, a thigh bone right there. You can see his thigh. That would be on a giant, okay? This is a giant Amazon queen. She was 9 foot tall. How crazy is that? And again, if you look at what she's wearing, it resembles the Tartarian style type of buildings. You know, a race such as these would build the Tartarian buildings, not these lazy fuckers. Speaks for yourself, guys. Yeah, speaks for yourself. Again, speaks for yourself. You know, what makes more sense to you, that these tiny puny let me take that back, that these humans or this sized man built this, or giants put it down? You know, what resonates with you more? It looks like they're getting her ready for some type of show. Probably right before they were poisoning and killing them. Imagine how strong she would have been. Crazy. And again, guys, what I'm showing you here, just some more evidence that, giants have been about for a while. There've been reports on the newspapers, yes, on the newspapers, on the BS newspapers that they release. Yeah, there's been reports there themselves telling you about skeletons of giants in Alaska. Okay, you can pause this for yourself, guys. Take a read if you're interested, but this is just to show you that this is nothing new. It has been around for a while. Alright, guys, I think we have come to the end of our presentation. Hopefully this helps you out, guys. Hopefully this allows you to question, to expand your mind and question the narrative, and really look back into your history and figure out for yourself what really happened, who are you, where we're going, and how the hell did we get here, and if we had heaven on earth, who came that destroyed it, and where are they? Because whoever came and destroyed it still is here today running the show, guys. As always, White Rabbit. Until next time, guys, peace.